Hello there. This is the beginning of a new series, Conan AI. It will be me and ChatGPT, mostly ChatGPT, making Conan stories. Maybe later on I'll add a little bit more to the stories, but I freely admit that the AI is doing the heavy lifting. But I would like to dedicate this series to Al Smith. And he was a big Conan fan, and I just hope that he would enjoy these stories. So before I continue to the first story, I'd just like to share a poem that was attached to a walking stick that I gave my friend Al. And that poem is From Grand Prairie Suns to Cimmerian Rain. May this stick bring you there and back again. I wish my friend Al was here, but even though he's not around, we can still continue to tell stories. So without putting things off any longer, here's our first Conan story, The Black Idol of Xuthara. Sorry for the hesitation there. And ChatGPT might pronounce that differently. So here we go.
Black Idol of Xuthara. The oppressive sun of the Zamorian desert beat down upon the city of Xuthara, casting jagged shadows across its ancient ziggurats and crumbling walls. The streets were a labyrinth of intrigue and decay, where thieves and assassins whispered secrets in the darkness of narrow alleys. It was here, amidst the stench of sweat and spice, that Conan of Cimmeria strode boldly, his eyes cold and hard as hammered iron. He was clad in a simple tunic of rough-spun cloth, a curved Zamorian sword at his hip. His thews rippled beneath bronzed skin as he moved through the market square, a wolf among jackals. The air was thick with the clamor of hawkers and the reek of unwashed bodies. But Conan's thoughts were elsewhere, on the promise of riches whispered to him the night before in a shadowed tavern. The Black Idol, the man had said, his eyes darting nervously. An ancient relic of the serpent god Yig, hidden within the temple of Xuthara. They say it is cursed, but its value, immeasurable. Conan had laughed, a sound like the rumble of distant thunder. Curses are for old women and priests. Gold and jewels speak louder. Now he found himself before the massive gates of the temple, its blackened stone walls rising like a monolith against the desert sky. The carvings that adorned its surface were grotesque and alien, depicting serpentine figures entwined in eternal torment. The Cimmerian felt a prickle of unease, but he dismissed it with a shrug. He had faced sorcery and steel alike, and lived to tell the tale. As night fell, Conan slipped past the temple guards with the stealth of a panther. Inside, the air was cool and damp, heavy with the scent of decay. He moved through shadowed halls, his keen eyes scanning for traps. The flickering torchlight revealed murals that seemed to writhe and shift, depicting sacrifices to a monstrous scaled deity. At last, he entered the inner sanctum. There it stood, the Black Idol of Xuthara. The relic was hideous, a grotesque figure carved from onyx, its eyes two rubies that gleamed with an inner fire. Conan's breath caught for a moment, not in fear, but in awe of its craftsmanship and its promise of wealth. He approached cautiously, his instincts honed by years of battle and betrayal. As his hands closed around the idol, a low hiss echoed through the chamber. Conan whirled, his sword drawn, to face a figure emerging from the shadows. It was a priest of Yig, his robes tattered and his eyes glowing with an unholy light. "Foolish barbarian," the priest intoned, his voice like the rustle of dead leaves. "You dare defile the sacred relic of Yig? Your flesh will feed his children." From the darkness, serpentine forms slithered, their scales glistening in the dim light. Conan cursed under his breath. He had faced many foes, but he had no taste for battling a den of serpents. With a mighty roar, he charged the priest, his blade cleaving the air. The man shrieked as steel met flesh, but even as he fell, the serpents closed in. Conan fought like a cornered wolf, his blade flashing in the torchlight, severing heads and spilling blood. Yet for every serpent he slew, more seemed to rise from the shadows. Realizing the futility of his stand, Conan seized the black idol and made for the temple's exit. The serpents pursued him, their hisses a deafening cacophony. He burst into the night, his powerful legs propelling him through the winding streets. Behind him, the temple seemed to pulse with a sickly green light, and the air was filled with the cries of the dying. At last, he reached the city gates and disappeared into the desert, the black idol clutched tightly in his hands. As he trudged through the sands, the first rays of dawn breaking over the horizon, he felt a strange unease. The idol's rubies seemed to glow faintly, and a whispering voice echoed in his mind, promising power and doom in equal measure. Conan laughed harshly, shaking off the sensation. If curses are the price of gold, so be it, he muttered. Let the gods play their games. I am Conan of Samaria, and I bow to no man, god, or devil. But even as he vanished into the desert, the whispering voice lingered, and the black idol's rubies gleamed like twin suns in the darkness.
Well, I thought that was pretty great. And for anybody coming from wanting to listen to some Lovecraft stuff, we have a connection to the Lovecraft mythos there with Yig. So that's always neat because Conan and uh, the Lovecraft mythos are connected in various places. I know another connection is the Black Lotus is mentioned in Lovecraft stuff. I think it's mentioned in Lovecraft. I might be wrong about that one, but there's a couple other small references. Not a lot of them are coming to me right now. But being as this isn't an official Lovecraft story, people can definitely say I'm full of shit. But no, I swear to God, Lovecraft and Conan were already connected. This just kind of played on that. Um, I really like this story. It was Conan all the way. Conan not caring that he's getting cursed. That sounds like Conan. Like just indomitable. So I was really happy for our first story. It feels like Conan, and I haven't read as much Conan as I have Lovecraft. And any time I say read, I mean listen to audio story because I'm not actually a big reader, but I love listening to some audio stories. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And if not, feel free to leave a comment telling me what you thought was wrong with this. And this has been Joseph Arthur Roszell. Thanking you for listening. Um, Goodbye.